Thank you. My name's Jo Bird and I've been working with Cooperative Enterprise for 25 years. I'm a Director of Cooperative Business Consultants, and we, together with a huge team, have organised today's conference. For me, cooperative solidarity means equality and democracy, and that we work together for the common good, alongside our sisters and brothers in trade unions, political parties and other organisations that share co-op values. The new president of the International Cooperative Alliance, Ariel Guab, sent us all a video message. It's on CBC's website and Facebook. He builds on his experiences with utilities co-ops and recovered factories during Argentina's economic crisis. He says that we're the only economic model that pursues economic actions based on mutual aid, responsibility, solidarity, equity, equality and democracy. We put the people in first place, and this is the reason why we exist. As cooperators, we know that democracy is not a spectator sport. A lot has changed in the last few months for the cooperative business sector. The general election was almost won by a mainstream party with the most pro-co-op manifesto in living memory. And Labour's leader, Jeremy Corbyn, agreed with Conservative Chancellor Philip Hammond. He said that we are an existential threat to their economic system. Also, the cooperative bank has become 100% owned by hedge funds, yet it still misleads people by using the cooperative name. The crisis at the bank was one of the reasons why CBC started these conferences 4 years ago. And now I find the situation really very hopeful and very exciting. At Ways Forward 4, Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell announced Labour's plans to double the size of the cooperative sector. And Becky will tell us more about announcements that are made this week, for example, around the Preston model of local economic development and new community wealth building unit. Last year I moved from Northern Ireland to the Wirral, which is home of one of the oldest societies. Members of the Liverpool Pilots have steered ships on the River Mersey since 1766. And it seems to me that the cooperative sector is a bit like a flotilla of ships and boats travelling on economic seas. We have flagships, we have container ships, we have careful pilots, ferry boats, leisure cruisers, speedboats, houseboats, sailboats, lifeboats, rafts, and we have a few shipwrecks as well. We sometimes share crew members between us. Some boats build and launch new boats. Some boats have leaks. Brexit makes for choppy water and uncertain seas. This conference is one of the ways of signalling to each other to offer and receive solidarity. The co-op flotilla gets undermined by incompetent managers, fat cat captains and organised pirates. Bob Canal calls these players, parasites and predators. And we know that big finance has an insatiable appetite to privatise the commons, trying to capture all assets owned by the public or by the cooperative and mutual sectors. And collectively, we need better legal and political protection. Their policies must be challenged, must be contained, and then replaced. By the way, the good ship Cooperative Business Consultants can only carry more load with more fuel and more crew, but we're happy to be part of this flotilla, part of a great network that can mobilise quite quickly, that keeps its eye on the long-term goal, not the smaller details. I myself am standing to be Labour Co-op councillor in the local elections on May the 3rd. And I believe that this period is our best chance in a generation to mainstream cooperatives and solidarity into the economy. Together we can do this if we are principled, if we put in the work and we're kind to each other.